Hi, Winslow here, and today I want to talk about the Trochilus Pop tuning, or as I like to call it, the red, because they have different colors of comb. This is the blues tuning, i.e. standard diatonic tuning. The red pop tuning differs in some interesting ways. First off, let's look at the draw notes. That's the draw notes on the standard tuned one. On the pop tuning, identical. By the way, these are both C instruments, as you can probably see. When we go to the blow notes, again, this is all slide out. Now, standard tuning, blow 3 is a C note, a G note. Draw 2 is also a G note, and sometimes people wonder, why do they have two of the same note? Well, the reason's very simple. In the blow C chord, G is the second most important note in the chord. In the G draw chord, G is the most important note. It's not a G chord without a G. Well, there's such a thing as a rootless chord, but let's not go down that particular rabbit hole. Now, one of the problems that people encounter is that if you want to play A, the next note in the scale, on the blue, I have to look sometimes, you have to bend it down. Now, draw 3 on a standard harmonica has 3 bent notes. I'll draw. All right, I went B, bent down to B flat, A flat, and then the blow G. I happen to like the sound of these bends, but they can be problematic. The wide bending range of draw 3 makes it the hardest bending hole to master in the harmonica. And it's difficult to get them accurate and in tune, and also with good tone. And when people are playing very quickly and need that A, very often they'll get instead, right, they'll bend too far and they'll get A flat, and all of a sudden it sounds like snake charmer music. So one of the things that some players have done is to raise that blow G to blow A. And that's something I tried when I was a teenager and decided, I prefer standard tuning. Brendan Power came up with it as well, and he called it Paddy, as Paddy, short for Patrick, is a sort of a nickname for an Irishman, and he was using it for Irish music. So he gave it a name, and he really put it on the map. So what we've got on the blow notes on this Trochilus Red, I have to look, is exactly that. 1, 2, 3, 4, blow on the standard tuning. On the Paddy tuning. Now, one thing that's nice about that is you get an A minor chord, which means playing in 4th position, A minor, you've now got a home chord and you don't have to bend for the home note. So that's the only real difference in the slide out tuning, is that one note. But what about when you put the slide in? Now, in standard tuning, all notes go up 1 semitone, just like moving up 1 fret on the guitar. And you get, as a result, everything just goes up. You basically got a C harp, then you've got a D flat harp. And that's true all through the range of the instrument. Now, it means you've got a number of duplicated notes, because some of the bends will be duplicated by slide-in notes, and some of the blow notes will be duplicated by draw slide-in notes, like B sharp, a draw note equals C, a blow note. Likewise, blow E, when you put the slide in, goes up to F, which is also a draw note. So you've got some duplications. You don't have a complete chromatic scale. If I go up C, C sharp, D, E flat, that's fine in hole 1, but in hole 2, I've got blow E, draw G, F and F sharp. Those are both bends. Now I can create the F, right, with the slide as a blow note, but I can't get the F sharp. Now if I go over to hole 3 in standard tuning, okay, that'll give me G up to G sharp or A flat, same note. And that's nice, except that's not all that useful a note. I'm more often going to want B flat and A natural. Now, if I press the slide in on B, I get another C, like I mentioned earlier. So we've got missing A and B flat. Let's go all the way up to hole 10, because we can use a slide to get complete chromatic notes all the way up through hole 9. But in hole 10, draw A, blow C. Right? I can create the B flat by pressing in the slide on A, or I can still play the bend. But that B natural is a 1 semitone blow bend in hole 10, and that's a hard note to control. I mean, I do okay on this, and this is a well-adjusted harp, but anything higher than the C, it gets a little chancy, and for a lot of players, it's really difficult. So we're missing the B in hole 10. We're missing an F sharp without bending, and I'm talking about notes that you can get without bending or overblowing. In hole 2, we're missing F sharp. Hole 3, we are missing A and B flat, right? The A flat we can get either way. Now, if we go over to this harmonica here, through a large part of its range, if you use the slide, you can get chromatic notes in most of the holes. Slide got a little sticky there. Hole 1 functions the way you would expect. Hole 4, all the way up to slide in, draw 10, it functions identically. But look what happens when I play blow 10 and put the slide in. Instead of going up to C sharp, it goes down to B. Now we've got that difficult to achieve B without bending. Let's look at holes 2 and 3, because that's where the other unusual stuff happens. Now, on the standard tuned harp, we could get F as a slide in blow note. We couldn't get F sharp. But look what happens when I play the draw G and press the slide in. It goes down to F sharp, which is kind of weird. If you're used to the note going up when you press the slide in, having it go down is a little strange. So if I want to play E, F, F sharp, G, blow, then slide in, keep the slide in, play the draw, then let the slide out. Kind of strange, but with a little bit of exercise playing the chromatic scale, you can get used to it. But now let's go over to hole 3. Now, A is our blow note, right? We can't push the slide in to get A flat from a blow G, because we don't have the blow G, we've got a blow A. We've got a draw B. I can bend that down for the B flat, but of course pressing a slide in on the blow A, I've got that. So I've got A, B flat, B, but where's the A flat? I'm going to play the B draw and put the slide in. It goes down 3 semitones to A flat. Very strange feeling to do that if you're used to what a slide normally does. So if I want to play the chromatic scale going up from the lowest note in that hole, slide in, draw, have to remember, for the G sharp or A flat, slide out, blow for the A, slide in, blow for the A, then slide out, draw for the B, like this. Again, a strange feeling, but you can get used to it with a few exercises. Maybe I'll put some up on my Patreon page when I have time. But in the meantime, what about the whole idea of bending versus just using the slide? Well, a lot of the times you want the sound of a bend. Like for instance, if I took this typical sort of first position blues lick. There, right, I'm playing draw 2, punching down to the 2 semitone bend, then blow 2, blow 1. Right, I want that punchy sound of pulling into the bend like that. But let's say I want to go. There I want the smoother sound of moving the slide in and out. Oh, there's something I forgot to mention. There's a really weird thing that happens in hole 3 with bending because of the way the notes are arranged. Now, in any given hole, you've got a lower note and a higher note, same side of the slide, in or out. And the lower note is the limit of the bend, rather creates the limit of the bend for the higher note. And usually all the way up to hole 6, the draw note is the higher note and therefore bends. Holes 7 through 10, the blow note is the higher note and bends. But what happens with the slide in hole 3 is you've got blow G sharp, or A flat, let's call it, draw B flat. Pardon me, what did I just say? Draw A flat, blow B flat. See how confusing this can get. And because the blow note is the higher one, it's the one that bends down. You could hear it start to bray. I tried to push it too far, and the two reeds start to flutter against each other. Now, I can bend for that B flat. And it moves nicely up to B natural, but it doesn't move down because our blow note in that hole, our blow note, slide out, is A, so there's not really a lot of room to bend that down. So I can bend the B flat, unbend the B flat up to B. On the draw, or on the blow slide in, I can bend it down. So I've got a nice little strange but useful possibility there. A blow bend in hole 3. So I hope this kind of gives you a quick run through of what the possibilities are with the slide, at least for single notes. Now, because of the non-linear slide in draw notes on this instrument, there are a lot of really cool, interesting chords, and I am in the process of writing some tunes that make use of these odd chords. Right, there's all kinds of cool things there, including some rootless chords that I talked about earlier. I'll deal with that in another video, or maybe a series of videos. But meanwhile, I hope this has given you a quick overview of the major differences between the standard tuned Trochilus Blues, or like I say, just the blue combed one, the red combed one, the Trochilus Pop. This is Winslow, and see you next time. Thanks.